Hello, I'm Dawn Medici with Oxford Township Parks and Recreation. Oxford Township Parks and Recreation offers a variety of travel options, both day and extended. For all travel information, contact the Parks and Recreation office at 248-628-1720. Let's look at what Collette Travel has to offer for Pacific Northwest and California.
Hi, I'm Ed McKenna, and I'm with Collette Travel, and I am here to present to you the Pacific Northwest and California trip being offered by the Independence Township Senior Community Center and the Oxford Township Parks and Recreation. So buckle your seatbelt and let's check it out. So we are one of those companies you'll see on the Wheel of Fortune, and this trip is the Pacific Northwest in California. It's 8 days and it's going from Seattle down the coast, ending up in San Francisco. We're gonna do one night in Seattle. We're gonna visit the Mount St. Helens Visitor Center, 2 nights in Portland. We're gonna get out and visit the Columbia River Gorge, Willamette Valley, Newport, Oregon. We're gonna be staying in North Bend, exploring the coastline of the Banded State Natural Area. And then we're going to come down through the Redwood National Park, overnighting in Eureka, and finishing up with 2 nights in San Francisco. We rank this tour as a level 2, meaning you're able to walk 30 to 45 minutes at a time as far as physical demands. Not too bad. And we're going to start off with that first night in Seattle, known as the Emerald City because of all of its lush green surroundings. So we're going to check out the city, explore a little bit, have our welcome dinner on that first night. And then the next morning, we're going to explore Seattle, venturing down through the colorful waterfront area, historic Pioneer Square with a local guide. We're going to get into the lively Pike Place Market, where they're famous for throwing the fish around and onto the ice with all the exotic vegetables and fruits and all the unique restaurants and shops right down by the water. Then we're going to travel by Washington State Ferry across Puget Sound to the Bremerton area. And then from there, back on land, we're going to continue south through Olympia, stopping at Mount St. Helens Visitor Center. And if you recall, in 1980, that's when the big explosion and eruption occurred, spewing, ash 1,000 feet into the air. And days later, we were getting that coming over Michigan. So almost like the fires we've been experiencing this year. So we're going to go through the chronological events that led up to the explosion, and you'll learn how they're still monitoring that very active area today. So continuing further south, we're going to have all these beautiful picturesque views of Portland and the countryside on the way there. And then we're going to be staying 2 nights in Portland. So Washington State, Oregon State, and eventually California. Traveling along the Mount Hood route on our way to the Columbia River Gorge. And Columbia River Gorge runs about 80 miles long. You've got some of that Lewis and Clark history here. And then later, we're going to enjoy a wine tasting at a local vineyard, followed by a visit to a lavender farm. And then we're going to have a dinner at a local restaurant. And then we're going to continue through the fertile Willamette Valley, which is the trail that a lot of the pioneers followed in the days of the Oregon Trail. It's one of the state's most prominent wine regions, and they're really known for the Pinot Noirs. All right, so continuing on down through the Oregon coast, sweeping views of Yaquina Head Lighthouse, which is the tallest lighthouse in Oregon. We're going to give you some free time. You can explore the interpretive center there, or maybe you want to make your way down to the beach and explore the tide pools where all these sea anemones are and some of the starfish too. We'll stop in the seaside town of Newport. And then your hotel for the evening is the Mill Casino. So if you're a type that enjoys some of the gambling opportunities, got the place to be. And then continuing on from there on down through Banded State Natural Park, where you have the beautiful sand dunes, Face Rock. And then we're going to have a cruise in store for you. Up the spectacular Rogue River, chance to see bald eagles, seals, the blue herons, lots of wildlife up in that area. And then we're going to continue south through the California redwood country. Some of these trees go back 2,000 to 3,000 years old. So back when the pyramids were being built, some of these trees were just seedlings at that time. Down through the road known as the Avenue of the Giants, ending up in Frisco. So we're going to take in the sights of Frisco, the Golden Gate Bridge, Lombard Street, the crookedest street in the world, down by Fisherman's Wharf, smelling all the Dungeness crab and sourdough bread, the Ghirardelli chocolate factory. We're going to take you around to see all of that. The iconic neighborhood known as Haight-Ashbury. We're going to take you through Chinatown, North Beach. And this trip we're doing a little bit different. Normally we like to do a farewell dinner, and in this one we're going to do a farewell lunch on the Pier 39 with these great views of the San Francisco Bay and the Bay Bridge. And then we cut you loose to have that final evening on your own. You have access to your tour manager there to give you suggestions as far as the best way to really enjoy that last evening. So excellent tour. We do offer a pre-night in Seattle. It's $3.99 a person, assuming there's 2 of you in the room. And if you're a single, it's $5.49 per person. So it's an extra night there. And it's what we call hosted, so that you arrive into Seattle a day earlier than everyone else. There'll be a local representative there. That following day, you'll be on the monorail with a local representative right after breakfast. You're going to visit the Chulele Garden and Glass, and your entry includes 8 galleries, the Central Glass House, and a sculpture garden. And then after that, you meet up with all your the regular rest of the group that's arriving in on the normal day. So this includes your getting picked up at your center, taking you to and from the airport. We do that on all our tours. The insurance on this tour is $349 per person, allowing you to cancel right up to the day prior to departure for any reason, with 100% refund for everything, less, of course, the price of the insurance. It's like you hope you never need it, but when you do, you're glad you've got that for you. So how do you sign up? It's $698 per person deposit. Your insurance is to be paid at the time of the deposit. So the insurance of $349 plus the deposit of $698 is $1047 per person to save your spot on the tour. We're holding 10 seats for each of the centers. It is first come, first serve on those. So it'd be your advantage to sign up early. You still have all the way up until November 12th to change your mind and get a complete refund of both the deposit and the insurance, are refundable up until November 12th. After November 12th, if you were to cancel, we would retain the insurance, but give you everything else back, okay? And what you can do as far as the access to the sign-up forms, Mary at Independence and Dawn at Oxford will have those forms on site, but you can also get them through your computer with the link up there. So if you're with Independence Township, you would put that top link into your browser. And if you're with Oxford, you'd use the bottom link, the gateway.gocollette.com link. And then those respective numbers go with their respective center, okay? And the other way is with your phone. So if you're with Independence Township, put your phone and camera up to the QR code on the top. And I'll leave this up for a minute or so. And if you're with Oxford Parks and Rec, then you want to use the QR code down below if you're with Oxford. That will pull up not only the itinerary, but the sign up now button on there. And if you pull up the browser, that will also have the sign up now button. So you can register online, put your credit card in there, and you'll be set up and ready to go on the trip. Okay. So I'll leave that on there for another moment or two. So you can get those either noted down or download them on your phone or computer, and you'll be all set. The good thing is don't need a passport. You will need your driver's license to get onto the plane. It must be valid and current, and you don't need any currency exchange. I checked the currency this morning. It looked like the West Coast was pretty close to Michigan. You can drink the water. They pretty much speak the language same as we do, maybe a little bit different down in California. But other than that, great friendly place, and you can drink the water as well. So I hope this works for you. If it doesn't, thanks for at least checking out the possibilities. And that's great. You're keeping that adventure in your life through the avenue of travel. So thank you very much for checking it out, and hope the rest of the day treats you well. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.